How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be doing an in-depth review on the Thinktool Master X2. This is a brand new scan tool that's been released in 2024 by Thinkcar. They sent me out this product at the start of the year and I have been using it daily in the workshop ever since. I'm going to be sharing with you my experiences, my thoughts, and some of the new features that's inbuilt in this scan tool. This is a product I was very excited to get my hands on. When Thinkcar reached out to me at the end of last year, they asked me would I be interested in reviewing one of their brand new products. This is the Master X2. There's also the 195 that has just been released as well. But this is one that I found would supplement what I have in the workshop already very nicely. Some of the new features that's in this one, I don't have in any scan tool that I have currently. So I thought this would be a good one to get my hands on and try out. Now, bear in mind, this is on the back of a review I've done on the Master before, so some of the big features that's in this one is also in this one, so I'm not going to be going in depth on those, but I will be sharing all the jobs that I have worked on, or not all of them, some of the jobs I have worked on, a selection of them, and showcasing how this product stacks up. One of the first things I'm going to talk about is the add-ons. If you want to purchase this scan tool and you want to future-proof yourself, ADAS, Advanced Driver Assisted Systems, is going to be one of those you're going to want to have in a scan tool. If you're looking at a body shop, so if you're doing crash repairs, damaged repairs where bumpers and radars, cameras, all of them are going out of spec because of damage, you're putting in new components, you will want to have one of those ADAS boards. This is going to be able to do the calibrations and the adjustments that you require. Now, look at all the new vehicles that have lane assist inbuilt in them as a safety feature. You're going to be able to calibrate with this scan tool should you have that add-on across a whole host of different makes and models of vehicles. So that's something that is worth thinking of, and again, if you're looking to future-proof yourself, that's something to have. Also, if you're looking to do advanced diagnostics, having an add-on of a scope is something that's going to be very important to you. I have oscilloscopes in the workshop. I have picoscope. We also have other scan tools that have them inbuilt in them. Having it as an add-on is just as good when the price point sits right. So this price point I think is very, very good for this scan tool, and then utilizing that add-on of a scope, if you don't have one, will be very beneficial to you. So any of those workshops that's looking to get into more advanced repairs, and that's a common practice really now, whether it's cam and crank correlation, you're just looking to have some waveform signals off different sensors, you're going to want a scope to be able to check those different parameters. If you're looking at LIN bus or CAN bus, again, you're going to want that oscilloscope. And if you're looking to future-proof yourself, if you're just starting up and you think diagnostics is a good pathway for you, make sure you have a scan tool that can do scope work as well. So very good in that aspect. ADAS, scope, add-on. Excellent. Now, some of the features that's inbuilt in it, what it's running. It's running Android 10, good battery, 12,600 milliamp hour battery. It's got a 2.0 gigahertz CPU. It's got a lot of space in it, 128, I think, gig of storage. So very, very capable, big storage, fast unit. Before I go into all of the jobs I worked on with this, I want to talk about the two main new features in this scan tool that wasn't in previous scan tools in the past that I have had. First one being the inbuilt TPMS. So if you've worked with tires, if you replace tires in the workshop that you're in, or if you want to make sure that you're capable of putting in sensors and programming them in, or checking a faulty sensor for a customer, this is something that you will want to have as part of your kit. So every workshop that I have worked in has had tire repairs or sold tires in it. And this is the first time I've had a TPMS capable tool inbuilt in the scan tool. They're usually a separate one that gets bought, and that goes for the Autel Ultra as well. So the Autel Ultra that we have in our workshop, it's an add-on to that, whereas with this, it's built into it. And I did get to utilize it, as you can see here. And Thinkcar also sell these sensors that you can use, and that's going to be capable of doing, they say, 99% of vehicles out there. So if you want to program in those, or if you want to check a faulty sensor, having the TPMS function is of great benefit. And I was able to check that Jeep, and I was able to showcase what sensors were working and what weren't, and then you can put in new sensors from there. So a very, very good and new addition feature in any scan tool, and I think that's something that is a big tick in the box for this one. The other one is the video remote capabilities. So this is going to be quite new to a lot of people out there, especially some new to the market people that wouldn't have any big scan tool purchases previously. So video remote function. We used video remote in the past, or remote connectivity for IT. So that would be the only time I would have utilized that. So if we had issues with any of our computers in store, we remote access IT, they come in, they take over our computer, and they're able to do whatever is needed to repair that, or they collect enough information, go away, and then we can converse over the phone and we can try and solve the problem. That is coming into scan tools now as well, and this is one of the could be one of the big players going forward in how a scan tool is thought of. Let's just say you have a workshop and it doesn't have any advanced capabilities, or it doesn't have any capabilities to do certain tasks, or you have lost an important team member in your workshop who used to do all the diagnosing, and now you need somebody else to fill in that spot. Having remote access to other techs online, which this does, will give you a potential to resolve a problem in-house rather than subcontracting out or telling a customer you can't do it. I'm hooked up to a vehicle. This is the ThinkLink section, which you click on and it brings up this screen. Now this is the remote section screen. So at the top corner you have intelligent diagnostic. So depending on your year, make and model of the vehicle, you would be connected to that. Manual select on the car, if you wanted to click on that and just input, or select car model by report. So if you've already worked on the vehicle and already done up a report, you can click on that section there. Service item. This is the box you're going to be ticking to give whatever job you're creating a ticket for or an order for a bit more information. So if it's a difficult consultation, you'd be talking about a very difficult problem that you're not able to solve, and somebody in that field may grab that ticket and work on the order with you. Online programming. Refit, so if you're maybe programming in modules, tire pressure related faults, so maybe you're having issue with learning sensors into a vehicle or reading sensors, or you're not competent in that area yet, you can look at that. Immobilizer faults, that would be in the anti-theft, and then we have battery related issues on that section. So you click on whichever one that you want to work with and you can make an appointment. You describe in detail what you want to input. So give a breakdown of the fault. You can also do a voice description there. You can add in reports as well, and then you would publish that order if you wanted to just create a ticket straight away that can be looked at by different technicians. Now this section you can look at what actual experts are available within your region. So if you look at all of these here, you can see Kia is selected, is basically this person's preferred or chosen vehicles that they work on. And this one, top 99, has Alfa, Audi, Daewoo, Aston. Down on there is Honda for this one. And it's giving you a breakdown, normal business hours, and then Thinkcar is the official merchant up there. You can go and do messages back and over to these, and if you did message them back, you can see a trace of that messages within this. So I just popped a message off to see if it was working to this test 2 when you were back online, and that message did send. I didn't publish an order directly to them or anything. I just tried to see if that would send within the tool, and it did. And this can be very, very beneficial to you. They'll be able to do a remote access to your vehicle. They can utilize all the information and products that they have at their disposal. So let's say they are one specific brand, very, very capable. Utilize Volkswagen, for example, they'd be able to have all the repair manuals, wiring diagrams, TSBs, and programming capabilities across Volkswagen. You could then develop a relationship with that technician. So yeah, I've got a Volkswagen problem. This is the person I want to reach out to, and you can message them direct. You can publish an order for them, and you will be able to utilize that. So this is a very exciting feature in Scan Tools now. And it's one that's going to create, I would say, many benefits for workshops out there, or maybe independent techs that are struggling to do everything themselves. They want a bit of backup. Programming would be a very common one that people outsource, and having somebody that can do the programming remotely for you. Now, you will need a battery maintainer as well to be able to do that, because you certainly don't want to be dropping voltages down. You're going to want to be beside the product the whole time that is going on, voltage stable, and make sure that you don't cause any problems for the remote tech that's trying to work on that. I'm just after having a conversation directly with Thinkcar reps, and I wanted to include it in this video before I put it up. It's to do with the online feature which I was just explaining, the expert technicians and the workshops available. That is only available to certain regions as of now. That is a very new feature. They're trying to expand it all of the time, and they're trying to get every region they possibly can included in it. Australia at the moment, unfortunately, is not one of those. So I am going to put an image up on the screen here of roughly what regions are available. But what I would say to you is definitely before you purchase this tool, if that is one of the primary reasons why you would buy it, is to reach out directly with Thinkcar, www.thinkcar.com. I will include all the information in the description, and ask them about your region. You'll get a better accounting of what type of backup and support you will have for that area, and it will help you to make an informed decision. And while that remote assistance may not be yet available in your region, it is something they're looking to roll out in as many areas as possible. So it could become online in the near future as well. So bear that in mind, and do contact them if you have any further questions with potential region rollout in the future. Now, what it doesn't detract from is all of the benefits that this still has regardless of that. So if we jump out here, I'll just show you an extra snapshot. The programming. So if you bought this for potentially doing programming yourself, you still have all of those manufacturers that is listed. So there's 20 that has showed up as being listed. German being very strong. Audi, BMW, Porsche, Volkswagen, Skoda, the common ones that people will be utilizing this type of a tool on. And what you would need to do is have a battery maintainer, making sure you have stable voltage hooked up. You would then utilize the Ethernet and hook it up from the ThinkLink directly up to your modem. You would also have the programming cable from the ThinkLink directly into the scan tool itself, and you will have the ability to do programming when you have everything set up, and a stable connection with stable voltage. The other one which I find could be of use to workshops for potentially bringing in additional revenue is key programming. I have never been involved in key programming in any workshop I have been in, but it is something that intrigues me. It is an add-on that you can get for this, and this is what it looks like. This is the add-on piece that you would buy. and then you would be able to do frequency detection directly with the key fob, so you could check to see if it's working or not. You could see if all the keys are working or not. You can even do the switch coil signal check, so right up at the key you would pop it up to there and you would be able to do a detection on that. So you're able to do some fault finding as well as programming, which again, if you want to do as much as possible in one place, in one store, this could be a winner in that. And one recommendation I would have to get additional onto the kit, if you are purchasing, would be an extension cable. The ThinkLink on this, or the VCI, if you're doing live data road tests, so if you're wanting to utilize driving while having this plugged in and not just standing in the workshop, the cable length is just sitting in between, where it can be fine on some vehicles but too short on the others. So one issue that I do have is the length of the cable. It is one difference from this to the Master, because you have the dongle that's straight up there, but this one being the ThinkLink and this VCI needing to be able to connect directly up to an Ethernet, you're going to have a box. So this cable, while it's a decent length, I would recommend having this longer. Now that's fine for me because I've got extender cables. I've also got a breakout box, and I'm able to adapt that as I need. But for you, if you were using it, doing a road test, for example, the cable goes up here, and then on this Honda, you'd be all right because you could put it up in the center section. But its length can be a bit tricky because you don't want it down at your feet, because it's going to be in the way. So you want to wrap it up around the steering column and back across. When I use the extender cables, I can put it on the passenger seat out of the way. And for a difference, or for an add-on, I would recommend having an extender cable, so this thing can be put wherever you want and you can bring it for a road test safely without any cables dangling down around your feet. That is the only issue that I have found. What I've talked about in the past is utilizing the features of a scan tool to help you do reporting, to relay information back to customers, and to be able to track jobs in the workshop. So having a Think file where you can store all of the reports. So we go into one of the report, do a pre-scan before you do any repairs, gives a whole host of what needs to be looked at. Then you can show the customer after repairs, and maybe there's still some repairs that need to be doing. You can show pre and post, attach them onto the job card, even email them to the customer, or again, keep them in your own database so that you know, yeah, that problem was there. I solved one or two problems and it's still got other problems, and I have documented it all. The more information that you can save, utilize, and give to customers, the better equipped your store is going to be. How often have we come across a customer with an engine management light on? They had one problem fixed, let's say recently, a month, 2 months ago, and they think the engine management light is directly linked to the problem you fixed. Customers aren't necessarily aware that engine light is for a whole host of things, so having a document that they could look at, oh yeah, I can see all of these different things that has been scanned, all the different modules, and then I can see what was fixed, could be a very, very big benefit to you. And being able to access that quickly. Customer comes in, they go, yeah, engine light's on again. You do a scan. I've done this in the past actually, where I've done a scan in front of the customer and I've pulled up a previous report and I've gone, this is what was done previously, this is what I fixed, and this is what it's showing now. So if you want me to repair this, I'm going to have to do some additional checks, but I can say that all of my work previously has been successful, and you unfortunately have a new fault that needs looking at. So again, having features like that is so good in these tools. Repair information, whether that's auto data, all data, whether it's DDTSB, having a whole host of information stored in that section will be of benefit to you. file manager, manuals, etc. You can, what's the other one? Haynes manual. You can load these scan tools up to have everything all in one. So if you wanted to get wiring diagrams on one section and then you wanted to go in and check common faults, TSBs, you could go in and out and you wouldn't have to leave the car. You could just be pulling a code, then you go into repair information, you would type that in and see if there's any common faults off that, and then it can give you a direction on how to carry out that repair. So utilizing software that maybe you already have in your workshop, putting it into your scan tool, and then making your workshop more and more capable. Feedback section in the scan tool is basically if you have a glitch, if you have a problem, if you have a vehicle that it didn't work on or something it should have and it didn't, send the feedback in. You want to be telling the manufacturer of faults so they can fix it. Highly recommend any feedback to be sent in so that they can make these tools as good as possible, and that when updates come, they'll rectify any issues or bugs or glitches. That's a summary of the scan tool. I could talk about this for 2 or 3 hours easily. I know I'm just touching on certain ones and jumping off again, but I don't want to make this video a 2-hour video, which, like I said, it could be easily that I have hours and hours of footage on this already, and every time I work on a vehicle, that's just getting more and more and more. So what I'm going to do to finish up this review is I'm going to speak on the makes and models of vehicles I worked on, so you have an idea of the capture, and then I'm just going to be talking through a couple of jobs that I utilized this scan tool on. Okay, so first of all, we have a Corolla, had ABS warning lights on the dash, traction control, customer complaint that lights came on when driving and wanted it checked out straight away. This was a 2013. So with that, there was a wheel speed sensor fault, brought it for a road test and utilized the graphing function in the scan tool. Very smooth, and it's different colors, so you're going to be able to see it easily. Also, using the screen recorder, you can focus solely on what you're doing and monitoring the dash and the drive speeds and everything. And if you have a lights cleared and then they come back on, you can just flag that, pull in, and then you can monitor the live data through the screen recorder and see what actually happened. So recording those parameters as you're watching them is a nice feature. Service reset on a Volkswagen Golf. Reason I wanted to show this is not always are you just going to be resetting the service back to default, whether that's 15,000 Ks or 20,000 Ks on those long life oils. Vehicle manufacturers, some of them are very stretched. As an engine ages and mileage increases, I always recommend to reduce down the service intervals in between that. So even on vehicles that I've owned that should be 15,000, I have been servicing mine every 10,000. I recommend to that customer to do the same, and if they agree to that, I can adjust the intervals in them. I have input information in new Havels as well, specific to exactly what was required, and again, having a scan tool that can input that information so then it can flash up a warning for the customer is going to be important. The vehicles that I worked on in the Holden range, the fact that I'm based in Australia, customers that are buying in this region, what Holdens have you worked on that this has been used on? So I worked on Barina, Cruise, Commodore, Equinox and Trax, and again, worked across them all, pulled all the information that I needed across a whole host of them, and I was able to do scans on them all. So when I'm doing servicing or maintenance jobs and I want to pull some information, I might do full system scans and then I might document that, and it worked perfectly. On Fords, I worked on Mondeos, Focuses, Fiestas and Rangers. So again, perfect, and no issues with any of those, and was able to collect all the information that I needed. Mitsubishi, Outlander, Triton and an Eclipse Cross. I showed the Eclipse Cross in a previous video that I did. Had a couple of them come into the workshop, which are relatively new vehicles, and able to pull all the information on those too. Volkswagens, I knew they were going to be strong across Volkswagens and Audis as well, because I've utilized Thinkcar product in the past, and this was no different. I had Golfs come in and Jetta, and I was able to do everything I needed with those. BMWs that I worked on, X3, I had an airbag, 5 Series, 3 Series, X4. They're all the ones that came into the workshop, and again, this was able to do everything I needed for that. Hyundais, Kias, Havels, Sanyongs, and again, probably vehicles that I can't even think of off the top of my head. I use this on everything, and the most important thing I want to say about this is it didn't fail on any of the vehicles I went to. So I was able to pull the information that I needed from every single vehicle that I used it on. And that is it for this review. That is a breakdown of this scan tool. I have found it fantastic. Most important thing with a scan tool is how much it can do, and this can do a whole host of things. Big points for the TPMS, utilizing that. That's a new one for our workshop. Being able to utilize the sensors that they sell and then program them in, check faulty ones and all that. Again, being able to do more and more in today's environment is important. Cars are getting so technical, advanced. They have so many safety features, be it from the tires to the lane departure assistance and the brake warning and all that. We're going to need scan tools that are capable of doing a whole host of things. And the more we can do in store, the more the customer will stay with us. All right, and that is a breakdown of the Thinktool Master X2. That is a in-depth look. I know I haven't talked on everything in detail, or this would be a 3-hour-long video. So I decided to just focus on some of the main points, things that are important to workshops, as this is really a workshop-tailored scan tool. So your tire pressure monitoring system, your ADAS add-on feature, your scope add-on feature, your online programming, your online accessibility to remote assistance, be it from repair shops or technicians, or maybe pulling information from those repair manuals, potentially having those techs available to you is going to be of big benefit to you. And even the key side, if you're doing key programming and you want to have that add-on too, and the speed of this scan tool, how much it can do, how much is packed into it, and how it could advance your workshop and make you capable of doing more, is why you would buy this product. If you have any additional information on these tools, pop them down in the comment section below, so that anybody who's looking at this can get as much information as possible to make the best decision for them. Again, thanks a million for watching. I hope you found this useful and informative. If you did, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.